Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Majestic speaking, and today we're going to be looking back into some more MechWarrior Online here. Again, going through another Origins mech, and again, that is Clan Technology Inner Sphere Chassis. So, I'm very excited to bring this little guy out. I have mixed impressions of it so far. I do like the hard points and the loadout on it. You have 6 missile hard points, 2 in the right arm, 2 in the left arm, and 2 in the center torso. So there's a lot of real estate to cover here. It is only a 35-ton mech, so you do have to kind of be wary as to where you want to place everything. I left the Clan XL315 in there. I placed 5 SRM4s, so 5 of my 6 hard points are filled, and then, that allowed me to place 4 tons of ammo. So I only have 400 shots, which gives me 20 alphas that I can do in a match before I run out of ammo. As for, the heat management, even without any heat sinks in it, I have a 1.41 heat management ratio, which is phenomenal, considering that there's no heat sinks or anything in it. Modules, I do have, a Cool Shot 9x9 and the improved UAV, so I am in a light mech, so I do need to do some scouting, but I also need to be aware of my heat, especially if I do alpha a couple times with my missiles when I get into close range. So we definitely have to keep that in mind. But as for everything else, it's pretty stock. The one thing that I do have to say about this little guy that I do not like, and that that's kind of rare, especially when it comes to either a clan mech or a light, because the expectations are there that it is a light mech, so you're not really going to get as much damage output and protection as you would in an otherwise heavier assault mech. But then again, they move slower. But even so, I still feel like the armor could have been a little more central to this little guy running around. I know going 146 kph, it's very hard for anyone to catch you, but at the same time, I still feel like they could have given at least a little bit more armor, and that would have affected the obviously the tonnage and so forth. But these Clan Omnimechs, these Origins that came out, they're paper thin when it comes to fighting on the battlefield. So I really like to put in the maximum amount of armor that I possibly can, so that I can make sure that the duration is there, and then I build my mech around what I have left as for weight wise. So that's just my play style, because I prefer the durability to last a long time rather than have the firepower get out of position and die quickly. But that's just my opinion. So we'll have to see how that works out for me in this little guy. I've done a couple rounds on this thing. Again, I'm getting better as a light pilot, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit. But I am going to be 100% honest with you in regards to the fact that I do not do well I don't do that well with missiles. And I think I landed all my shots in one of the rounds that I did with this guy. And I landed all my shots alpha'd every time just to see what the damage output capability is of this thing. And if you get, between the 450 to 500 something range, that's phenomenal. You probably landed every one of your shots, but that's if you have specifically my loadout. So, if you mix it up a little bit, that's up to you. I'm just letting you know how it is on my end. So, if that is, if you do enjoy this loadout, or you have a different loadout that you think would be better, even if it's a smaller engine, something like that, please let me know. Drop it in the comment section below. Even if you have a Smurfy build or something for it, I'm sure that a lot of people on the channel would love to see it. If you have any questions that I can help answer about, the mechs and so forth, or about my loadouts or anything, please, I'd love to answer them. You can shoot me an email, and I'll be more than willing to help you out via email, or I can just respond directly to any of your comments. Either way is fine. So we're playing capture the square box with lasers around it, and I'm already bored. So I'm not gonna go off on a rant like I did in the other video about why I don't like Conquest, but we do have the advantage right now. We do have to keep an eye on Theta. Just gonna peek my head up. Oh, I thought that was an enemy. Just gotta peek my head up and make sure that no one's coming. Didn't deck this guy out yet in the Clan Smoke Jaguar attire, but I probably will at some point. You know, with all the Origins mechs, I think I'm gonna do that just because, well, I really like the Innisphere chassis, but I don't like, but I really want to make it customizable to me and what, and you know, the clans I support and so forth. So we'll see what happens. Owie. Getting beat up. There we go. Landing some shots. There he goes. He went down like a sweet muffin. Put my UAV up.
New target acquired.
There we go. Got a couple shots off on him. And again, I'm already down to 280. 280 missiles. Oh, jeez. This Trogdor took a,
new target acquired.
took a fall. Who's this? He's running through the cave, so I'm not even going to bother chasing him. I'm going to get back to the main battle, because we can all hunt him down a little bit, unless someone else gets him, so we do need to provide support, and I don't want to wander off too far, so that's just, you know, personal preference. Come here, you little hunchy. Hello. I'll just wander back and forth. Why? Because my armor's strong. So, there we go. Nice. There. I'll take that. Thank you for your arm, sir. Nice. He's down and now it's just that stupid Jenner left.
Damage. Left leg critical damage. Center torso critical damage.
So I do have my CT exposed, but and we have pretty much our entire team going after them, so going after that last guy at least. Where is he? I heard him blink. There he is.
Target acquired.
Can hear you, little runt.
Target destroyed.
Oh, he's right there. So not a bad round, and look, you can see my ammo down here. I have 56 shots left, so that would have been 2 and what? 1, 2, 3. 2 and 80% of a third salvo that I could have done. 455 damage, definitely gonna take that. Landed a lot of my shots. I think I missed maybe 1 or 2. But definitely enjoyed that round. Definitely a good one. 455 damage, 7 assists, no kills. Alright everyone, so we're back here going into the second round of gameplay here, and the only reason why there is a skip in the video is because I did edit it out. So you know, I was gonna do another solo drop, but then I got back in touch with my buddy Bearclaw, who said that he did still want to do a couple of drops. So I am gonna be doing another drop with him, and I figured, you know, why not? I'll do some group gameplay as opposed to sticking to the solo queue. So hopefully we get some good matches rolling here, but that's the only reason why there was a little bit of a skip, is because I was going to drop into another solo round, and I did have it all lined up, but you know, I skipped over and decided, you know what, I'll drop back out, and you know, just to cut all that out so you guys didn't have to see nothing for, you know, 30 seconds or 2 minutes or however long it took. Now you'll see a little bit of group gameplay. So this is going to be Bearclaw and I. We're only a 2-man, and we are both running around in our Origin Jenners here. And you know, very coincidentally, we both have the same exact loadout for this thing. We both have the 5 SRM4s with 4 tons of ammo. His is, I believe, is mastered. He's been working frantically to get his Jenner mastered, so he does have all the like speed tweak, and you know, I mean, you know how it works with a skill tree. He has everything mastered, so that's definitely going to be more beneficial to him, just because he has, especially when he's doing, I believe he said it goes 156 kph as opposed to mine, which goes 146 or something like that. So given that, he's definitely going to have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to navigating and going around on the map, but I guess we'll have to see how that works out. And there we go. And since he's the group leader, I just found this out the other day, that only the group leader can actually do the votes on the maps. So he constitutes both of our vote for what we're actually going to be playing. And I really hope we go assault. Yes. Thank God. And here we go. Dropping out of Frozen City here. Looks like we're going to be... Hopefully we're with a decent group. You know, it could go one of two ways. You could have 2 great teams fighting each other, or it could be completely one-sided. And it looks like we have a couple guys from oh, we have one guy from BMMU. It looks like he might be grouped up with someone else. Yeah, Bearclaw and I, and then a couple of guys from CI, Tool, Derp, playing Ghost Bear.
Online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
And again, we were back on Frozen City, so I know that the first round was on Frozen City night, but we are now on Frozen City during, well, what is like the foggy blizzard, I guess you can say. And you know, although you might be thinking, I hope you guys did stick around, but this is a completely different dynamic when you're in the group queue versus sticking to the solo queue. So definitely keep tuning in. It's a totally different ball game, you know, fighting in, you know, these kind of situations than it is when you're in the pug queue. So don't want to be too over aggressive here. What's his paint scheme? Interesting. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Just watching that's pretty funny. There we go. And we're off. Not sure if he's going to go to cap the base. I don't believe he was, but I think he's just doing a huge loop from a flanking perspective. So, going to stick with him. Heading into D4 now. He does have the speed quirk, so he does have a little bit of a benefit on his side, as I previously mentioned. And I do have an improved UAV, so you know, I can definitely... there we go, and we're going to take this guy down. There we go. Got him.
New target acquired.
There's an arrow sitting behind us, completely by himself. There we go. 5-1 already?
New
How'd that
target
happen?
acquired.
There we go.
Target destroyed. Base is being captured.
Sure it is. That's probably the only thing they can do at this point. Yeah, there's 2 of them left, and probably maybe one of the 2 are at the base. So I guess Bearclaw and I are gonna go take care of him, unless they're both there.
Base is being captured.
We shall see. You little. Woof. That was a nice shot. Where's he going? Besides flying away. Oof. Wow. 12-2, Group Q. That was pretty swift, and he's completely... he's completely right. I mean, that's essentially what you do in these things, is because they go so fast, they do have the capability of picking off mechs that really are just out of position. That's, I mean, that's the best thing that you can use these things for. So we're going to give you one more round, and then that's going to be the end of this video. But, you know, we are sticking to the group queue, so, you know, there is... So yeah, you know, there is still a lot of respect in the group queue, just because of the fact that it's usually a bunch of units or clans that are grouping up and going out to attack, and hopefully grouping up against other great units that are out there and want to attack each other. So it's a great way to practice if you guys do get to you know, drop into the group queue. Even if it's, you know, you're brand new to the game and you just want to see what it's like, definitely get a group going. You have to experience it because it's a whole different style of gameplay. There's so much more coordination, and even if you're brand new, you'll learn a ton. I mean, I learned a ton within the first, you know, 10 matches or so that you know, I was in a group queue, and I wasn't even with a bunch of experienced players. I was just with like 1 or 2 of my buddies who were also just starting out, and that's where you learn so much, even just from like a tactical, logistical, and execution standpoint. So definitely don't just you know, stick to the pug queue. I mean, the pug queue obviously is great when you're just, you know, you're on a hard grind, you want to do your own thing, kind of like, you know, no coordination really meaning to be involved, and just having a fun time by yourself. But if you're going into the group queue, you know, it's a whole different ball game, because, you know, Bearclaw and I are a 2-man group right now, and if we don't get placed with a good unit, we could just as well be against a 12-man, and you know, whether that be EMP, Lords, 228, SJR, it's definitely something that you have to be wary of, and you have to experience it. Even if you get crushed, just knowing where you stand, and if you can even, you know, do some sort of damage, and, you know, even it's a progression, right? So if you can get first, if you can land significant hits, if you can destroy components, if you can get mechs, you know, below 50%. So, you know, these are all milestones. It's all something that you just have to keep reiterating that to yourself, that, you know, you can only get better by fighting against tougher, more experienced pilots, and that's how everyone gets better, you know. And I'm definitely not the best out there, but at the same time, by doing these group queues and being with other pilots that are very knowledgeable and going against other pilots that are very knowledgeable, you become very knowledgeable. So looks like we are against, yeah. We're against 228, BMMU.
Reactor online. Sensors online.
This is going to be an intense round, so we'll see what happens, but it's going to be a skirmish, so... There he goes. Again, we are on Canyon Network. So this is another environment where, you know, I'm definitely curious as to what this thing is capable of, because it is a hotter map to play on, and you know, something that you have to be aware of, because the ghost heat is still real. That hasn't been nerfed or changed at all. And you know, my heat generation from my SRMs is still real, so hopefully we can pick off a couple that are out of position here. If we can get into position and stay in position, that's probably going to be our best bet. So
New target acquired.
looks like they are all kind of facing that C3 valley over there. If we can get into a position that's kind of behind them, that would be probably the best.
Target destroyed.
There he goes, Top Gun. And now they're starting to do the NASCAR around the center.
Target acquired. Target destroyed. Warning, incoming missile. Target acquired.
And they're all getting aggressive on that end, so you know what, we have to stick to what we're here for, what our role is. There we go.
New target acquired.
We might actually pull this one off somehow.
UAV activated.
I'm getting lit up like a tree. That Alpha is just so serious with this Jenner.
Target acquired.
Oh, I got him! I got Dax on the last shot. Wow. Somehow, some way, we took out a couple of the BMMU and 228 guys, which is, you know, that's always a great win. So, you know, you guys are definitely in for a treat in the group queue here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions in the description page below. But in the meantime, I just want to thank you guys again for the support. I hope you enjoyed the video on this little guy, the Jenner Origin. And you know, you can tune in tomorrow, which I'll probably be posting up the Orion Origin video as well. So thank you guys again, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.